Hi. Now I'm going to discuss about this paper, that is adaptive management of cybercriminal maladaptive organizations in the offing that imperil the nation. Agenda points are introduction, background, motivation, analysis of the organizational efficacy, proposal, conclusions, references. So introduction. The sub-inspector, Mr. Razu, was taken on chief examination. He is communicated, thus basing on these documents, I have investigated to the JNTH authorities upon which the name of the accused was elicited as a responsible person for this. His submission mentions that the SI marked the accused one based on the investigation with the JNTH authorities. However, the details of the investigated JNTH authorities were not revealed in the examination. Further, the details of the interactions between JNTU authorities and the Cyberabad police authorities were not recorded. Therefore, the judgment of acquittal of accused one was on feeble grounds. Further, the Cyberabad police mentioned in the charge sheet that separate charge sheet would be filed with regard to accused 2 who was absconding. However, the authorities did not file separate charge sheet but ended the case as reported in figure 5 with regard to page 2 of the response to the RTA application submitted to the Cyberabad police. Had the police not closed the case, had they submitted the separate charge sheet, and had they produced accused 2 in the court of law at Mayapur, a necessity might have arisen for the retrial of the accused one. In India, many cybercrimes are committed by educated persons. Cybercrimes are becoming a great threat to national integration, particularly in India. To deal with cybercrimes, professional ethics, computer ethics, and cyber ethics and case studies within India's society should be related. Education also should be of man-making, character-building, and nation-building type in the footsteps of great luminaries such as Swami Vivekananda. In this regard, awareness generation based on ICT approaches should be taken up massively for inculcating a remedial national spirit by keeping guidelines and counseling in the web pages, publicizing the web cybercrime remedial steps taken by the Indian government, etc. Thus, national cognition impairment gets a remedy, giving rise to real social progress. Positive national psychology should be developed in the people, inculcating true spirit of national integration. People should be sensitized by the ICT approaches against any regionalism movement approaches that abuse national spirit by cybercrimes. Other approaches could be conducting workshop, conferences, symposia, seminars in this regard, such that this case study is included, highlighting its obnoxious setting against the spirit of true academics. Social development attempts to explain qualitative changes in the structure and framework of society which help the society to better realize aims and objectives. Development is a process of social change, not merely a set of policies and programs instituted for some specific results. The basic mechanism driving social change is increasing awareness leading to better organization. When society senses new and better opportunities for progress, it develops new forms of organization to exploit these new openings successfully. The new forms of organizations are better able to harness the available social energies and skills and resources to use the opportunities to get the intended results. There must be positive motives that drive the social change and essential preconditions for that change to occur. The motive must be powerful enough to overcome obstructions that impede that change from occurring. Nowadays, development requires resources such as capital, ICT, and supporting infrastructure. Development is that the result of society's capability to arrange resources to satisfy challenges and opportunities. Society passes through well-defined stages within the course of its development. Structure enhancements introduced to support the innovations will happen at the same time at 4 totally different levels: physical, social, mental, and psychological. Furthermore, 4 differing types of resources square measures concerned in promoting development. Of these 4, physical resources, a square measure most visible, however, least capable of growth. productivity of resources will increase tremendously because the quality of organization and level of data puts rise. Background. Our earlier work highlighted a case study of multiple cyber crimes such as seditious and violation of state emblem of India Prevention of Improper Use Act 2005. The cybercrime website indicated nearly 2,000 registrants, which is surprisingly large figure for a cybercriminal website. The scenario gave rise to cyber forensic research and investigation. The initial complaint in the police station did not get registered. Upon continuous persuasion through the RTA approach, etc., finally FIR was filed for a fresh complaint, but in vain. The charge sheet was failed. Prosecution of proceedings in the case of accused 1 was over. As a result, accused 1 was acquitted. With this background in view, the present research work has been taken up. Motivation. The charge sheet for the case study was detailed. The conditions for the RTA application in Figure 1, 2 and 3 arose because of the delay in the proceedings of the case. The cybercrime registered the subsequent to the RTA application dated 1/11/2014. In these figures, the charge sheet was filed on 23/12/2014. The cybercrime registered ignored the sedition angle of the crime. It was registered only much time after an earlier similar complaint was ignored for registration. The cybercrime gives the impression that the motto of the culprit organization is either regional separation or national separation. So this page represents the RTA application submitted to the Cyberabad police. This is page 1. And the page 2, the RTA application submitted to the Cyberabad police, where the lot of questions was posed to the police. Almost 48 questions was posed to the police. This is page 3 of the RTA application submitted to the Cyberabad police. Motivation. With nearly 2,000 registrants involving many staff, students of the university geared up against law and ordered as was evident from the culprit website, the cybercriminal activity was rampant in J&H. The details of the registrations were not transparent to the public. It was not known whether the foreign students were involved in the registrations and whether they had any role playing in the overall issue. The situation gave scope for doubts that the university authorities and the police worked cohesively to sidetrack the cybercrime issue. Thus, conditions arose favorably to frame the 48 questions in Figure 1, 2 and 3 for RTI remedies. So this page is the response to the RTA application submitted to the Cyberabad police. So the response is given. So we posed 48 questions, but we got the answers only for 6 questions. So this is the page 2 of the response to the RTA application submitted to the Cyberabad police. And analysis of the organization efficacy. Figure 6 and 7 give details of the response by the police to the 48 questions. The response give information related to the first 6 questions. It indicated that the remaining questions were related to the J&H. As shown in the figure 8, the police department sent the document to the PIO J&H, that is the registrar J&H, for responding with regard to information related to the questions 7 to 48. But on approaching this authority, it was all in vain. Thus, we did not get response from either organization Cyberabad police or J&H authorities. This led to peculiar situation wherein each organizational authority pointed at the other but to no avail. Subsequent to the court hearing, some case information was elicited from the police department with regard to the case studies. This page represents the response page 1 to the RTA application in Figure 1, 2 and 3. Responses given the page 2. So we posed 48 questions, but they have given only answers only for 6 questions, and the remaining questions, they said the remaining questions are related to J&H. They will be providing the remaining answers for the questions. So response page to the RT application transferring to the PIO J&H. So this page. Analysis of the organizational efficacy. The information furnished by the police department is in figure 4 and 5. It indicated that after trial, the case ended in acquittal. What interests us now is the use of police complaint against cybercrime. How is a teacher researcher on cybercrime, cyber security, cyber forensics to deal with a situation wherein cybercrime dissolution approach upon investigation by the police is watered down to a case of null and void. Particularly, this case pertains to cybercrime that affected national consciousness, solidarity, and integrity feelings in the general masses. This does not pertain to any single individual. The loss is to the nation and not to any individual. Owing to 2000 registrations, the cybercriminal activity is considered rampant. The academic environment becomes perverted and maladaptive. The public authorities enjoyed their positions of authority and did not give any orders of prohibition against the culprit organization or the culprit website. Proposal. We would like to create awareness about the cybercrime among the students, professors, citizens, and the foreigners by conducting conferences, seminars, workshops, etc. Also, we use the website for keeping the guidelines in it because in the JNTH website, all about 2000 members were registered and there were students and professors. They used Indian emblem in their website, which is the case of improper use. We made WhatsApp group and taking the individual opinion from the students of different backgrounds with the following questions. Number 1. Answer the 48 questions in the scanned images in reference 1 to the extent possible. Detail in brief your ideas, impressions, understanding as answers. Justify your answer. Number 2. The Cyberabad police did not nab the cyber criminals with well-established evidence but mentioned that the cybercrime was ended. Do you consider it right? Justify. Enumerate the ICT approaches that you will adopt to remedy or eliminate the failure-prone system. Number 3. Cyberabad police mentioned that the accused one was nabbed based on the details given by the university authorities, but neither the proofs of docs of the details nor the details of the university authorities were specified. No authority was prosecuted. Does this indicate that the Cyberabad police and the university authorities colluded to mislead the prosecution of the case? Number 4. Give critical analysis that serves as pabulum about the case study to mold such an academic environment that prevents the recurrence of the cybercrimes of the kind experienced in the case study. Number 5. The university authorities do not seem to have taken any remedial action with regard to the cybercriminal outfit. The efficacy of the higher education administration in curbing the means of cybercrimes in academic environment over the years leading to widespread abuse of its academic environment shows that the constitutional abuse was rampant even among the educated elite. Give your critical comments. Suggest 5 to 10 ways to recover from the abuse so as to contribute to the promotion of national consciousness and spirit of national integration among the people. Number 6. Academic exercises do not tend to sufficiently mold the students as useful citizens of the nation and society. List any 5 suggestive measures for the nation building technology education that eliminate cybercrimes of kind in the case study. Number 7. The case between the KPHP-PS government of AP and the accused one was prosecuted in the court and the judgment proceedings were issued in 2016 mentioning both the parties. The mention of KPHP-PS government of AP in the judgment proceedings is moot point because KPHP-PS happened to be under government of Telangana at the time of the judgment with regard to A1. This is the question 8. And finally, the conclusions. Our work comprises of case study with regard to how one can track the cybercrimes and cyber laws. The cybercriminal organization JNTH is considered in this regard. The police registered an FIR. 2 accused persons A1 and A2 were mentioned in the charge sheet. Accused A1 was acquitted because the evidence produced by the police was against the police. The police mentioned in the charge sheet that A2 was absconding and that supplementary charge sheet would be filed. But after acquittal of A1, charge sheet in respect of A2 was not filed, but the case was ended as reported by the inspector of police. This shows that the police were reluctant to convict the culprits. This is a case of cybercrime scenario in which cybercrime is registered but no criminals were fixed. Given the situation, it is clear that academic environment in JNTH is clubbed with massive cybercrimes. The experience report indicates that there is no use of mere cybercrime cybersecurity subjects, and those mere studies of such students do not contribute to values in academic life of students and staff. People should be made sensitive to not abuse constitutional provisions and laws by inculcating national spirit in them as well as respect fundamental values such as respect for the nation and for the laws of the land. Remedial ICT approaches should be adopted. Towards this goal, we have used website as mentioned as means for basic awareness generation with regard to the values, national laws, constitution, and personality development. The response from the academic stakeholders to our website, web-based guidance and counseling is satisfying and encouraging and marked as a smart and innovative way by many feedbacks. The government should make cognizance of the maladaptive makeup of JNTH in regard of the reported cybercrimes for redressal. These are the references we used to prepare this paper. Thank you.